Hi, welcome to the Target Individual Program, the Target Individual Experience. I wish I would have done the previous sets of video in this format, but didn't get the opportunity to because the way how things was going, the way how I was being targeted, even in the home tonight. My nephew's son and my niece's daughter, they're both teenagers. They have been heavily active in targeting me. Basically, my nephew's son basically, again, waiting until I come out of my bedroom and would stare down at my crotch and do these palm fixation drill, right? And so, for example, if I'm walking in the hallway, he would walk towards me, look at my crotch, and he would put his hands to the side with the palm of his hands facing towards me so I can see. And, just doing things like this. And, it's really, really ridiculous. But I'm going to continue part 2. I wouldn't say part 2 because there was a few parts, but I think the last video I did, a couple of videos, I talk about a package that was supposed to be delivered to me that they claim was delivered, but it wasn't. And so I'm going to do an update on that because I did go to the post office, and you guys will see and hear for yourself what took place. So I wanted to read this article because it's very important. This is an article from 2014, all right? Because I think I showed in a video how they target me through Facebook, right? Manipulating Facebook friends to post certain things at certain time. And, for example, when I was posting information about, corruption within the CIA, the FBI, NYPD, and this was very early in the morning. It was like about 6 something. A video popped up, a notification of a video. So I clicked on the video, and it was someone that was in a cemetery, right? Looking at tombstones, right? So constantly doing stuff like that. So this article, it's from The Intercept. It's in the psychology section. And the name of the article is How Covert Agents Infiltrate the Internet to Manipulate, Deceive, and Destroy Reputation. A lot of that is going on. And we're not intelligent enough to understand what is going on. We're not intelligent enough to see the manipulation. Excuse me. So we are easy to get deceived. And in deceiving us, they can turn us against anyone they're targeting. And when I say they, I mean whether it be the CIA, the NSA, the FBI, the Department of Justice, the military, DOD, your local state and police department. They all engage in some form of, not some form, but they all engage in manipulation, whether it be through the internet, whether it be through the general population, through television, through print, through the movies. They all engage in manipulation. So it says here, one of the many pressing stories that remain to be told from the Snowden archive is how Western intelligence agencies are attempting to manipulate and control online discourse with extreme tactics of deception and reputation destruction. One of the many pressing stories that remain to be told from the Snowden archive is how Western intelligence agencies are attempting to manipulate and control online discourse with extreme tactics of deception and reputation destruction. It's time to tell a chunk of that story, complete with the relevant documents. Over the past several weeks, I've worked with NBC News to publish a series of articles about dirty tricks tactics used by GCHQ's previously secret unit, JTRIG, for the Joint Threat Research Intelligence Group. These were based on 4 classified GCHQ documents presented to the NSA and the other 3 partners in the English-speaking Five Eyes intelligence. Today, we at the Intercept are publishing another new JTRIG document in full entitled The Art of Deception Training for Online Covert Operation. By publishing these stories one by one, our NBC reporting highlighted some of the key discrete revelation: monitoring of YouTube and bloggers, the attacking of Anonymous with the very same DDoS attacks they accuse hacktivists of using, such as honey traps, luring people into compromising situation using sex, and destructive viruses. Before I continue, DDoS means denial of service. Okay, attack. So, this is what they used to do to me when I was doing research, trying to find out, what was going on, what was happening to me, and certain websites I would go to. One day I would get access to it, and the next day, I couldn't get access to it. So I was being hit with denial of service attack, and just have to find workaround around that. And a lot of those sites that used to be up that had very incredible information about the psychological warfare and dark NLP have been taken off the internet. All right, okay. But here I want to focus and elaborate on the overarching point revealed by all of these documents, namely that these agencies are attempting to control, infiltrate, manipulate, and warp online discourse, and in doing so are compromising the integrity of the internet itself. Among the core self-identified purpose of JTRIG are 2 tactics. 1, to inject all sorts of false material onto the internet in order to destroy reputation of its targets, and 2, to use social sciences and other techniques to manipulate online discourse and activism to generate outcomes it considers desirable. To see how extreme these programs are, just consider the tactics they boast of using to archive those ends. You guys hearing the siren? It's very, very low. Okay, it is about it's actually 2:23 in the morning. Okay, and haven't heard a siren in a while, but yes, now you see they're using the sirens, right? So anyway, because again, every time you attempt to speak, or not even attempt, but speak on these things and share these things and expose these things, they use law enforcement as a way to as a means to intimidate and threaten you. Okay, so let me begin again. All right, among the core self-identified purposes of JTRIG are 2 tactics. 1, to inject all sorts of false flag material onto the internet in order to destroy the reputation of its targets, and 2, to use social sciences and other techniques to manipulate online discourse and activism to generate outcome it considers desirable. To see such extremists, to see how extreme, to see how extremist these programs are, just consider the tactics they boast of using to achieve those ends. False flag operation. Posting materials to the internet and falsely attributing it to someone else. Fake victim blog posts pretending to be a victim of the individual whose reputation they want to destroy, and posting negative information on various forums. There is an online illustrative list of tactics from the latest. Here is an online illustrative list of tactics from the latest GCHQ documents we're publishing today. Disruption operational playbook. Infiltration operation, ruse operation, set piece operation, false flag operation, false rescue operation, disruption operation, sting operation. Other tactics aimed at individuals are listed here on the revealing title, Discredit a Target. Set up honey traps. I talked about this plenty of times. They've done this to me in the past, and I know it was a long time ago, but you know, I've gotten a lot wiser, and anyway, change their photos on social media networking sites, write a blog purporting to be one of the victims, email, text their colleagues, neighbors, friends, etc. Then there are the tactics used to destroy companies the agency targets. Leak confidential information to companies, the press via blog, etc. Post negative information on appropriate forums, stop deals, ruin business relationships. GCHQ described the purpose of GTRIG in starkly clear terms, using online techniques to make something happen in the real or cyber world, including information ops, influence, or disruption. Using online techniques to make something happen in the real world or cyber world. Two broad categories: information ops, influence or disruptive, technical disruption, known in GCHQ as online covert action. The 4 Ds: deny, disrupt, degrade, and deceive. Critically, the target of this deceit and reputation destruction extend far beyond the customary roster of normal spycraft, hostile nation and their leaders, military agencies, and intelligence services. In fact, the discussion of many of these techniques occur in the context of using them in lieu of traditional law enforcement against people suspected but not charged or convicted of ordinary crime, or more broadly still, hacktivism, meaning those who use online protest activity for political ends. The title page of one of these documents reflects the agency's own awareness that it is pushing the boundaries and using cyber offensive techniques against people who have nothing to do with terrorism or national security threats, and indeed centrally involve law enforcement agents who investigate ordinary crimes. There you go. There you have it. Okay? Cyber offensive session, pushing the boundaries and action against hacktivism. No matter your view on anonymous hacktivists or garden variety criminals, it is not difficult to see how dangerous it is to have secret government agencies being able to target any individual they want, who have never been charged with, let alone convicted of any crimes. With these sort of online deception-based tactics of reputation destruction and disruption, there is a strong argument to make, as Jay Lieberman demonstrated in The Guardian in the context of PayPal 14 hacktivist perception. All right, what the denial of service tactic used by hacktivists result in at most trivial damage, far less than they just throw a white paper towel out the window. See, this is what they do. Okay. So let's see here. Where was I? See, I got distracted. They just did it again. They just did it again, and they keep doing it. It's a shame I don't have a webcam. Okay, so okay, so let's see. So as Jay Lieberman demonstrated in The Guardian in the context of the PayPal 14 hacktivist persecution, that the denial of service tactics used by hacktivists result in at most trivial damage, far less than the cyber warfare tactics favored by the US and UK, and are far more akin to the type of political protest protected by the First Amendment. Now, you see the word PayPal in the video that I'm going to show you. You'll see how they hacked into my phone and launched my PayPal account. Okay, and again, using silent sound spectrum and manipulating my online searches, in which I will pick this article to do. Again, it's all part of the influence that these technologies can have on an individual, right? Without you even understanding it. But the minute I saw that, I said to myself, okay, so there must be a reason why, in my searches I was doing, they implanted the idea in my mind using the silence of the spectrum to look for articles on deception within government agencies, right? So there you go. You guys want to see, all right? And as soon as I was reading this, was when they start throwing their white paper towels or whatever tissue out the window. Okay, and again, this is like around after 2:30, by about 2:40 a.m. in the morning, right, on a Thursday morning. All right. So. Alright, so tactics used by hacktivists result in at most trivial damage, far less than the cyber warfare tactics favored by the US and the UK, and are far more akin to the type of political protest protected by the First Amendment. The broader point is that, far beyond hacktivists, these surveillance agencies have vested themselves with the power to deliberately ruin people's reputation, not just reputation, but their lives, and disrupt their online political activity, even though they have been charged with no crime, and even though their action have no conceivable connection to terrorism or even national security threats, as anonymous expert Gabriella Coleman of McGill University told me. Targeting anonymous and hacktivists among its targeted citizens for expressing their political belief result in a stifling of legitimate dissent. Pointing to this study she published, Professor Coleman vehemently contested the assertion that there is anything terrorist, violent in their action. Government plan to monitor and influence internet communication and covertly infiltrate online communities in order to sow dissension and disseminate false information have long been the source of speculation. Harvard law professor Case Sunstein, a close Obama advisor and the White House former head of the Office of Information and Regulatory Affairs, wrote a controversial paper in 2008 proposing that the U.S. government employ teams of covert agent and pseudo-independent advocates to cognitively infiltrate online groups and websites, as well as other activist groups. Sunstein also proposed sending covert agents into chat rooms, online social network, or even real space groups, which spread what he views as false and damaging conspiracy theories about the government. Ironically, the same Sunstein was recently named by Obama to serve as a member of the NSA review panel created by the White House, one that, while disputing key NSA claims, proceeded to propose many cosmetic reform to the agency's power, most of which were ignored by the president who appointed them. Now, as I'm reading this, early on, I was playing with my daughter. She loved roadblocks, and sometimes I'll play with her because she has no one to play with online. And when I play those games with her, they target me online, even in Roblox. So it lets you know that as a parent, okay, you got to be careful, when your children go online. Like my daughter, I tell her, I say, you don't communicate with nobody online except for me or your brother. That's it. So tonight we were playing, and I'm playing, and she says to me, "Daddy, where are you? I can't see you." Now, I was in the game playing with her, and then she said to me, "Daddy, my screen, something wrong with my screen. Because I can't see you." But I'm like, "Listen, I can see you." "What you mean you can't see me? Where are you?" I said, "I can see you." So she had to exit out the game and come back in, and that's when I realized that they have hacked the game and basically, you hear that? They're walking by going whoop whoop. See? Anyway, so yeah, all right. Now, online chat room, game servers, they're in there. Okay, their presence is in every internet activity out there. Okay, but these GCHQ documents are the first to prove that a major Western government is using some of the most controversial techniques to disseminate deception online and harm the reputations of targets. Under the tactics they use, the state is deliberately spreading lies on the internet about whichever individuals it targets, including the use of what GCHQ itself call false flag operation, and emails to people's family and friends who would possibly trust a government to exercise this power at all, let alone do so in secret, with virtually no oversight the outside of any cognizable legal framework. Okay? There is the use of psychology and other social scientists to not only understand but shape and control how online activism and discourse unfolds. Today's newly published document charts the work of GCHQ's Human Science Operations Cell, devoted to online human intelligence, strategic influence, and disruption. Okay, so I'm not going to read the rest of this. You guys can go and read it yourself. This is from The Guardian. You can see the link right up here, or not the link, but the web address. Okay, oops, pressed the wrong thing. But anyway, you guys can see this, and I'll try to remember to post it in the link. I know I usually don't post articles in the I'll link to articles on the video, but I'll try to do for this one. Okay, and you can also view the documents. They're available again at the Intercept. All right, and this is you know, like what do you call it? I can't remember. As I say, my mind is really not functioning too well. It's late, and you know they've been targeting me. So, but all I meant to say was a PowerPoint, right? It's a PowerPoint document. There you go. Finally came in. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back up, and let me now get to my videos in terms of my targeting. Yeah, so on my way to the post office, and started hearing police sirens. Whoop, 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 whoop. Took up my phone, doing recording, and they stopped. Okay, the heavy surveillance, remote no monitoring. I also woke up this morning and they started leaving. They had one side of a black boot in front of my bedroom door. Okay, so again, like I said, they will find ways. They always have to find ways to harass you or target you. So I talked about this before, where they'll start leaving shit in front of my door. You know, this time it was one side of a black boots. Okay, yesterday it was moving my hard drive from the back of my computer desk to the middle of my computer desk. Like I said, in which they have no business doing. Okay, and you know, it's the police that's doing this, right? It's the police that's doing it. The abuse of their power, of their authority. Okay, and you know, I'm gonna make sure that they're held accountable. All right, and what I mean by that, when I say it's the police that's doing this, what I mean is that it is the police that is instructing the people in this house, family members, into doing these things. Okay, they're the ones that's doing it. Right? So make no mistake about it. You know, I'm taking psychology this semester, and the chapter that I'm supposed to read, I haven't started reading it yet. But one of the videos that the professor wanted us to watch, actually there's two videos. One is the Stanley Milgram experiment, which is, you know, in terms of Stanley Milgram, who was trying to understand how did the Nazis, right, got the German people to participate in the, you know, in the Holocaust, right, of turning in their neighbors, family members, friends over to the SS. And so he did this experiment, and the experiment clearly shows that, you know, people will blindly follow authority, even if it means that it can, whatever they're doing can kill someone. Okay, as long as they feel that they won't be held accountable, all the moral judgment goes out the window, and they just follow blindly to the point where, yeah, they will commit murder. Okay, so I'm going to continue talking about exposing what it is that they're doing. And you know, of course they're going to use the crazy theme. See right here. Alright, so of course they're going to use the crazy theme, you know, which is fine. You know, it's expected, because that's what they do. Okay, and that's how they think that they can get away with, you know, doing what they do. And that's how they have the community, those within the community, believing that they can get away with doing what they do. Okay, so okay, so I'll go to the post office, see what they See what they have. Now look at the Patriot theme. See the car driving up. The American flag draped all over it. See? All right. So again, I talked about this, right? Using the patriotic theme. Okay. Same thing the Nazis used to do when the Jewish person, the Jewish people see that swastika, whether it be on the flag, on the armband of the soldiers, it was terrifying to them. Terrifying. Okay, and so what they're doing is using the American flag, because I wasn't born in America, so they used the American flag in the same manner to try to instill fear within me, which I don't. Listen, I love this country as much as anybody else, but I will not participate in the psychological destruction of another person, the physical harm of another person, the financial harm of another person, the harming of a person's relationship with their friends, their families, their significant other, their wife, their husband, boyfriend, girlfriend. Will not do it. Okay? And this is what makes me different from 80% of the population in America. Because 80% will do it. Okay? Because they know how to manipulate the 80%. And I say 80% because it's a high number. Okay? The majority of people in America are easily manipulated. It doesn't matter if they're Christian, Muslim, atheist, a conscious awakened person. They know how to use different things that they know they can lure these groups in. Okay? And they have spies and operators in every community across America, in every industry, every business, school, educational system. They're all in there. Okay? See? Alright? Again, it's the picture theme that they do. Okay, so we're not at all I'm not at all surprised. Maybe we should be surprised when we talk about this stuff, but I show it. Alright, let me go back. The American flag draped all over it. Go back. See? And alright. Again, it's the let me get to this. It's the picture theme. Young lady. That they. Oh, okay. Now look at how she's walking. She has a smile on her face. Right. Now look at her thumb. She has her hands up, right? Well, her elbows bent. Okay, with her thumb out. Okay. Now this is key. This is key. You guys don't understand it. You guys see that? This is key, and I'll explain it. And they were doing it all day today. Okay, so we're not at all. I'm not at all surprised. Maybe we shouldn't be surprised when we talk about this stuff, because I show it. Okay. She's walking with that smile on her face. Like I said, it's just the fact that they know how to manipulate people and get them to. Now, you see this gentleman as he's walking. You'll see what they'll do is they'll also look down at the sidewalk and then look up in the sky. All right, now watch his head and watch his eyes. See that? As you look up in the sky. Okay, and that the woman behind him. Okay, looking up at the sky. Keys in her hands, walking, or whatever she had in her hands. Okay. So they know how to manipulate. This is all people. And get them to commit this kind of crime against an individual, right? And and
these same people that's doing this will tell you that they can't be brainwashed and they can't be manipulated. Okay, but they have perfected the art of controlling those who are oppressed into oppressing other people, right? So, you know, when you think about how fundamentally wrong that is, right, and you think about it in a common sense way, you know, it's kind of fucked up. I'm just speaking honestly, it's kind of fucked up.
It's like when you abuse someone, okay, when a person is abused from childhood and they grow up and they turn into an abuser. Okay, this is what they've done, particularly to us as black people. We turn into the abuser to each other.
Right, but that's the world we're living in, and you know they know.
And again, you'll see how they look up in the sky. Let's go back as she walks by.
Right, but that's the.
You'll see at the point right there, she's looking down on the sidewalk, and then she looks up,
you know,
at the sky.
They know human beings' mindset is just like animals in terms of, you know, human beings have minds and brains that can be manipulated and controlled. Just as how you could train a dog to be obedient, you could train a human being to be obedient, right? And for those that fight against it, you know, they find ways to put you down and keep you down.
Now, do you see the hand signal? Okay, I want you guys to check this. It's going to be very subtle. Okay, let me see if I can edit this to zoom in. Okay, alright, that's the top. Let's do that. Okay. Now you see how, again, you see this woman here, older lady, she's looking up in the sky. Again, because of, you know, religion. Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, it's God. it ain't God, it's the US government. Okay. And the technology that they possess. I mean, they can trick you. And that's why I had to read this article here, the deceptive nature of this program. All right. So you see her here. She takes her thumb and press it against her jacket, her what do you call it? The cuff of the jacket. You know. All right. So again, see how they do these sort of things, right? You know, taking her thumb, just like the young lady was walking with her thumb sticking out. She walks to the bus as the bus comes, walks in front of me, okay, presses her thumb against the cuff of her jacket, right? You're hearing sirens, but it's very, very low. Very, very low. I'm not sure the video might pick it up, but through these headphones, I can hear it. See, so now they, like I said, I talk about how they will target you with all the confidence, you know, as if they are emboldened, and then they go back to, you know, scattering and hiding in the caves, and I want to do things very subtly. All right. Okay, so let's go.
They find ways to.
Now watch. Okay. You'll see the hand signal to the hands coming up to where the palm of her hand is showing towards me. Again, very strategic, very slight. You know what they call sleight of hands. But you know, with video you can slow it down and pause it.
All right. So that's basically it. Well, get on the bus right now.
Okay. Now.
Well.
Wait, I thought I might have seen something.
Right.
Let me see if I'm correct.
So that's basically it.
I need to pause it.
Well, get on the bus right now. So, to be continued.
All right. So I thought he did the. Usually they'll either hold up the peace sign or they'll, have their hands down and they'll do the peace sign. The upside down peace sign, right? They do that a lot too. Okay, so let's got to the post office. Got inside the post office. It was like targeting. I didn't. I was like, I'm not going to record it. But then, all of a sudden, I'm in the post office, and there for like about 10, 15 minutes online, and this guy came and skipped and came in front of me. I'm waiting on this line for 15 minutes. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Okay, so let me play the video.
So, drama in the post office already. The guy came and just totally skipped me. Okay, mask up and everything. Okay. Trying to start some shit.
Okay, so I had paused the video, and then I asked him if he can pull his mask up. And he was like, won't you mind your business thing? I said, listen, you better pull your mask up, or I'm going to call the manager to get you escorted out of here. Okay? So he obliged. He pulled his mask up. Then he came and stand directly in front of me. Turned around. Takes out the info notice on his, the info notice that they give you when they don't deliver your package or you're not there or what have you, and he holds it up in front of me. And you see him move his hand. And what do you see? You see the barcode, right? Also, you'll see how he's moving his pinky finger slightly, and this is key because today they were sticking out their pinky finger as they was talking to me, right? And as you see, what he's looking at as he's doing that, he's looking at the mailbox. Okay, so I don't know, it has to do something in terms of them not delivering my package, which they didn't, and they lied and claimed that they delivered my package, but they didn't. But we're gonna deal with that shortly. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's continue with these. And then all of a sudden, everybody comes and they want to skip line, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You still gotta wait online.
And the reason why they do that again is misdirection and with deception. In terms of, because if this gentleman was the only one that did that in front of me, okay, then it's easy for me to make that claim, that to say, and you guys can see it yourself. Yeah, he's definitely trying to target me. I mean, he literally turned towards me, holding up the info notes with the barcode on it. And one of my videos that I did previously when I was in Target, and they had asked me to see the barcode on my phone, right? When I showed the employee at Target and she scanned it, everyone held up their barcodes so I can see.
To go on this line. This is for pickup only. You're on the wrong line.
So it's and this is what they do in order to discredit what you're saying. For example, let's say, being that they stole my package, right? So there are many people whose packages get stolen by the post office employees, or maybe somebody in the building. And in this case, nobody in the building stole my package. They never delivered the package, period, because the soup of the building was there. On top of that, Pam went downstairs. I went downstairs to check. There was no package there. Okay, and from time to time, they'll do this. And then also today, they were sticking out their tongue, because again, saying that, well, it's because, I'm exposing what it is that they're doing, so they're going to continue to do this, right?
No, in front of all of them, that's not cool at all.
So he skipped me, and he's talking about other people skipping him. That's the crazy thing about it, right? I'm sorry for using the word crazy, but I'm not, I try to refrain from using that word, but
I want to ask, can you please fix your mask?
Yeah, my mask is on.
No, but you don't wear it over your mouth. You're supposed to go over your nose. All right? As long as you're standing next to me, I'm going to ask
and they're doing this.
you to keep your mask on over your
purpose.
Not over your
This is purpose that they do.
mouth.
Listen, I'm on mine. I'm not my own
listen.
business, and I would-
So I'm not going to play this because we had a pretty long-ish. All right, so check this out. So here's another thing that they do, and this is why they do this, because they know I'm going to say something, right? I mean, it's covert. So again, this is just a distraction, because they think that I'm just going to point the phone to record the guy, right, over there.
As long as
What
you're
I did,
standing
right? And so you see, this guy comes. He was with this other older gentleman, and then he starts to put his hands behind his, where his hands in position, right? And so, again, it's a homosexual theme, getting screwed in the butt or what have you, such and such, right? Okay, so he does it, and then you'll see. At one point, you'll see him give me like the middle finger. I may have to zoom in so you guys can see. Okay, so I think I'm not sure what he had in his hand. Let me see if I can zoom in. Let me adjust this and zoom in, so I can show exactly what they were doing. Okay, I can zoom in a little bit, and this is how I have to zoom in. I literally have to just crop the video, and increase the size. All right. Let's see if I can make it just a little bit more bigger. Okay.
See, this is the shit that they do.
Let's go back a little.
As long as you're standing next to me, please.
Okay. And that's actually, it looks like his bank card. Right? Yes, his bank card. He takes his bank card and he puts it, behind his butt. Now, you see the other guy in the tan jacket. He turns and he looks at me. He looks to see where his eyes is at as they do that. Again, this has to do, send me a subliminal message about my disability.
This is the shit that they do.
And I'm going to show you guys what they do when I left the post office. And you see how he stick his pinky out, right? I talk about how they were using their pinky today, sticking their pinky out.
As long as you're standing
So let's go back. You guys can see. He holds his bank card in his hand. And the guy over there was talking to himself. All right, and I talked about how they do this, how they always send some person that has mental illness to come around me, but I'm at the bus stop or I'm out in the street. You'll see them. I've shown them on plenty of videos, so you guys should see the pattern, and I should know the pattern by now.
See, this is the shit that they do.
All right, see the pinky finger stick out.
Like I said, it gotta be some form of violence. Right? It got to be some.
All right. Now watch again.
I'm saying you could do all of that. But I'm just saying right now, just, you know, if you're standing next to me, please fix your mask. Put your mask over your nose.
And he came and he's standing next to me. He wasn't 6 feet apart. He came and he's standing right next to me. You guys saw it. Okay, now see, I don't know what he's showing me, what he took out of his pocket. Very like a white piece of paper. Okay. See, he tried to show it to me. Again, they do these sleight of hand tricks, right? You may say, well, you know, I mean, well, she didn't give him anything back. Okay. So he clearly took it out of his pocket. Just to see. And again, these are sleight of hand tactics. And I'm going to play a portion of a video. It's called The Art and Magic and Deception. Okay, so again, okay, let me see this.
Yes. You don't see nothing?
And so yeah, when you talk about a cover-up, right? When you talk about how they do these things, again, it is to mask the targeting of targeted individuals. So when we order things, we don't get things delivered on time, and they can say, well, you know what, well, the post office does that. This is with the post office. So again, it's how they create these things and what it is that they do to deceive the public and to deceive other people. But understanding how they do it is key. That's why I do a lot of research. Okay, so you see how you see his finger? Okay, let me go back. And that's the thing with this, with doing it like this. It becomes a little bit difficult because, okay, let me see. Let's go back here. And let's, okay, that was the wrong one. Let's go back. I wanted this one. Okay, let's see. Okay, there we go. So you see his, let me zoom in even more. It is fascinating, you know, once you begin to understand. When you didn't understand, you're going on, you know, whatever it is that they put into your subconscious, right? The triggers and the anchors. And so you don't have a full understanding, so it affects you, you know, it greatly affects you, okay? It affects you now, even if you know, but, you know, you kind of, even though the things are going through in your mind, you kind of, you know, you're not, what I said, afraid, or, you know, you're not scared, because, you know, this is fear-based conditioning, right? So understanding that is what you have to do. You have to understand, okay? So I want to zoom in. I want to get it pretty close, up a little bit. Yeah, okay. So I can zoom in from there. I do apologize. It's just, you know, this is not a video editing software. It is a streaming software for, you know, streaming games and stuff like that. So, you know, and you know, right now I don't have the time to learn, you know, video editing software. Maybe on my vacation, I'll take some time to learn some of it, like Adobe Premiere, so that way I can do these things in a much more easier and better way. Okay, so I see his middle finger. You see how he moves it? It's very, very slightly, right? Very slightly. And he turns around and he looks at me, right? And then he looks at the dude over here. Because again, indicating that if I do this video, the guy that's, you know, doing all of that, to come over and standing next to me, and because then I'm going to say something, it's like, okay, well, we're going to use that person against you. Whatever. Use them. You know, I'm not a criminal. I haven't committed any crime. So you're not going to make me believe I've committed a crime when I didn't. Okay, so there you go. Okay, let's go back. You guys can see better. Okay, so now you're going to really see okay, good. I can do that. Okay. All right, so let's go. Okay, now there you go. I think that's his middle finger. I think that's his index finger. Now, so first middle finger, then the index finger. While you're pointing the finger.
And this is the line over here. You're not next. There's a line.
Okay. So let's go back to a smaller size so you can see the entire thing. Slightly, okay. Let's do that. And I know this is a lot of work. I do apologize making this video longer than I wanted to, but I need to, you know, show the stuff. I need to be able to explain the stuff, and you know, the video is going to get shorter. Like I said, I'm going to take some time to work on doing this video in a faster, more professional way. Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. Yeah, this is the line. After him, after me, after this one, there's a line. You have to wait too.
Okay, that's all right.
Right?
Have a good day.
You too.
She said, come. She said, come. She said, come. Yeah, it's fine. She said,
Okay.
That's probably best.
That's some shoes you got up here. Two shoes.
All right. Let me just.
where's the ID?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. Now, you'll see again he takes out the white paper in his hand. Right? He holds it in his hand. And again, she didn't give him the paper. I was right there. I was watching him. Because she just came back. So you see, she had left. She wasn't there anymore. He had the paper in his hand, put it in his pocket. When she came back, he never, you know, she had the package, so she didn't give him anything. You see, as he turns to leave, he's going to take his thumb. Let's go back here. As he turns to leave, he's going to take his thumb. Right, and he's going to press it. And you see, he still has the white paper in his hands, right? As he's turned towards him, right? It's very brief because it's out of the frame, in the frame, very, very briefly. Okay. Watch. See that?
That's it.
Okay, now watch as he turns. Alright, let's see, he's gonna take his hand again. He moves it off of the white paper and onto his middle finger. Very subtle.
Where's the ID?
Oh, hold on. Here.
I love when y'all help.
Yeah, I always do that because I've had this problem many times,
Yes.
so I know.
Okay.
He usually holds my mail,
Oh,
right?
So this UPS equates to this USPS.
Right. And he said they must deliver, but it wasn't delivered.
All right.
So she goes to check. Let's see when she comes back.
I'd like to speak to the manager.
Okay, let's go back here.
Now, this is not the first.
Let's go to it. Back. So they basically just stole my package.
Okay.
They didn't deliver it. They just stole
I
my
went downstairs to check. There's no package there. I asked the super. He said that they never delivered any package to me. Now, this is not the first time this has happened. This has happened many times before. Okay, and so and so I would like to speak to the manager because I've done this already. I have this. This has been, you know. So this is nothing
I
new.
do apologize. I didn't realize
If
that
you
my
can,
hands
I'd
were
like to speak to the manager.
in the video because I just kind of held it. I didn't look because I didn't want to give her.
Miss, I want to
Which
receive.
oh, you know she being recorded and but I tried not to, you know.
I'm on the
The way
line.
how I was holding it, I didn't realize that it was at that angle.
It's gonna get delivered. You want
I've done it. I want to receive. I've stand on this line before.
So
So this is happening.
now I have to go to
All right.
the manager. I'll wait for the manager. I'm standing there. So she stuck her little pinky finger out. You see that? Alright, again. Let's see, she turn, and there you go. Go up again. Very subtle moves. Yes, okay, go on, yeah. Okay. And then after she leaves, guess what happens? See the woman in the black jacket. Again, she put her hands behind her back. She's boy watch. She looks at her. Gets out. Now, fixation. Put the rest of her hand behind her back. Palm open. Puts it back into her pocket. Okay, and then you see she puts her finger down here. Looking at her shoe. Now, remember I talked about how when I woke up this morning, they had put a black boots in front of my door. The reason why she's looking at her shoes is because of that. Also, Pam was doing the same thing Saturday. So I had to ask her, I said, why you keep looking down at your shoes? Because she had a pair of black boots on. I said, why you keep looking down at your shoes? And she's like, I'm not looking down at my shoes. I'm like, yeah, Pamela, clearly you're looking down at your shoes. Come on. She does, and you'll see. Okay, 3 things that's happening here. Just as the guy who had the white paper in his hand, and again, this is you see the pattern here, right? The repeated things. Her pressing her thumb on the white piece of paper. Okay, and you'll see her messing with his hair, playing with his hair. Okay, and then she takes her hands, and not to say, you gotta look at how she touches his shirt again. He's wearing a yellow shirt, right? That is the yellow part of his shirt. And you'll see, because I'm going to tell you how to use the color yellow. Right? Okay. Very sleight of hands. Okay. Right. So see where she presses her thumb. Right there. All right. And see what she did? She takes her thumb, slide it underneath her pointed finger. Okay.
You ready?
All right. Now look at her son. See what he does? When I tell you how they touch their nose, how they tap on their nose. So yeah, I guess they're applying for their citizenship. So whatever deal they work out with the crooked police to get them their citizenship, made it easy for them to get their citizenship. Look at them. Okay. And then okay, did you see the tongue sticking out, and then the pinky finger? He's holding the paper with his pinky finger sticking out, right? So these are all very subtle moves. Alright, so there he goes. He stepped forward, the little kid, right, touching his nose. Okay, you're talking about plan. Watch. Okay, watch. Right there. Right there. See, he sticks his tongue out. Right there.
So meet me back
And then he turns around.
in the corner, okay?
Okay. So they know what they're doing. It's all planned. It's all sleight of hands. Right? It's all sleight of hands. Okay. Now I go to speak to the manager.
Hi. So, this package was supposed to be delivered. It said it was delivered, but it was never delivered. I was there on Saturday. Okay, I went downstairs. The package was not there. I asked the super, right? The super said the package, they never deliver anything to me. There was like, no package came for you. He usually collect the packages, sometimes hold them for me. He said no. He said the post office did not deliver any package to you. Now, this is not the first time this has happened. I have been here before. There was another manager. It was a male. I've been here many times before. This keeps happening and happening. Okay? So, I mean, I need to file a thing.
Postal inspector.
Right, and then on top of that, if you're the manager, I'm asking you to please talk to your employees. Because I told it to the other manager. They do this. Sometimes they'll say they deliver a package, and 2 days later is when they really deliver it. So this is not, a one-off thing. This keeps happening over and over again. Okay?
All right, and this is the post office on Church Avenue in Bedford. They are notorious. The one over by me over here, they used to be like that, and that's why I started, having my packages delivered by Pam. And then once I started doing that, it got worse over there. Okay?
So what do you need here again?
Postal inspector. There you go.
Oh, this is the postal inspector thing, so I just have to call that?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
What's that in the back?
So, yeah, there he come out. There goes his phone. See?
Yeah, you just stand there.
Right?
So you
Because
come
they
out, takes his phone
somehow
out of his
feel that
hand.
they're justified in their bullshit. Okay? They feel like they're justified in their bullshit, right? Criminals acting as if they're good Samaritans or whatever. You know, that's the delusion, right? That's the delusion. Again, you understand? So, yeah, I'm about to head back home
No.
because, you know, check some of my packages again. You know.
Okay, let me readjust this.
Yep.
Okay, let's get to the next video. So I got to the bus stop and I was waiting for the bus. See, the bus was right there, but I was trying to call. Hold on a sec. Okay, I think. Hold on a sec. I might be missing the video here.